Stacy's on now. Don't say that.
Well, this automatically records. Oh my gosh, Laureen.
Sorry. I had to cancel this morning, so I had to get up and get back in my pajamas and do a wrap.
There you go. We're just going to give it a second here and get going. We're already recording, so I set it up to where it automatically records, so I'll never forget. I got to turn the light on. Hold on. That way you can see me a little more.
I got to plug my phone in.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and get started because there's lots of stuff to talk about. And some of you that were at the training this last week, we went over some of these things. We're going to talk about them again because I think it's really, really important. Last week at the training, the people that were there, I had them write down a fear or a struggle in their business anonymously. And what I found out is that every single person, I think but one or two, maybe there was two, had either a fear of failure or a fear of success. So that's the first thing I want to start with is the fear of failure and the fear of success and why we feel that way, and a little bit of psychology around it. The funny thing is, fear of failure, I'm going to start with that. They're kind of the same thing, but fear of failure, it will prevent people from doing something because they're afraid of failing. So why would you be afraid of something you're not going to try anyways, right? Most people that have a true fear of failure will not give it their all in anything because they're afraid of failing. And because they're not willing to give it their all, they're setting themselves up for failure. Fear of success is, in a sense, the same thing. I know that sounds funny, but fear of actual success really roots back to our childhood. And I want you to think about this. When we have, this is all off the top of my head, just so you know. When we have, how many of you guys have kids? Raise your hand. A lot of you. Okay. Probably most of you. When we have kids, when they're first babies, we're so excited. And we think that our child is a superhero. They can do anything. We have great plans for the future for them. And we would never think of telling a baby that they can't walk, right? But what we tend to do is, let me mute everybody in case everybody's not muted because, oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. I kind of like having the background noise and being able to hear you guys. Anyway, so what we do from the time our child is born is we keep telling them that they can't do this and they can't do that. And aside from that first few months when we would never even dream of telling our baby that, you know, they can't do something, we spend the rest of their childhood telling them the things that they can't do. I'll probably end up telling a couple stories in this, but my point being is when we are raised as children, we are taught to do what our parents do. And our parents were taught to do what their parents did, etc. And, you know, we're taught to grow up, go to school, go to college maybe, depending on your family. Some families it's important, some families it's not. Get a job, get married, have kids, work for 40 years, and retire on half of our income. That's the American dream. It really is. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, right? Have any of you guys heard that? That's what you're supposed to do? I would say that the people that are in this business are in it because they know there's something different. They're just maybe not quite sure what, or maybe you get it already and you know that there's a better way. But what happens to us when we are the crazy ones and we decide to go out on a limb and try something different? Maybe, you know, some of you are trying to retire from your 9-to-5 jobs. Maybe some of you just want time freedom. Maybe some of you have bigger dreams. It can be anything. It doesn't matter. But there are things that are not the normal. You know, who says that they want to retire at 25? That's unheard of, right? So what happens is our families and our friends and the general population do not believe what we believe. In our minds, we know that it's possible because we've seen it. But the general population doesn't see what we see. They don't hear the stories that we hear, even though we try to share them, or they ignore them because they just think they're a scam. And sometimes our fear of success, I shouldn't even say sometimes, most of the time our fear of success comes from the world telling us we can't have what we want, not what we're supposed to do, but what we want. Because what would really happen if you all could retire right now and live comfortably? What if you could live every day the life of your dreams and do whatever you wanted with your time and your money? What if money wasn't an object? You know, sometimes when we have dreams, big dreams, we put them in the back of our minds because we don't really ever think or believe that it's going to be accomplished. Sometimes that could be something really big. You know, some people want to open a nonprofit organization for something, which takes a lot of funds and time. But maybe you put that in the back of your mind because you don't think that that'll ever happen, you know? If anybody does have an interjection at some point, you can feel free to unmute yourself and say something. But what I want to talk about is how we kind of take a beating with our family and friends telling us we're crazy. Any of you guys heard that yet? That you're crazy and what you're doing isn't going to work. You're not ever going to make any money at that. That's kind of what we live with on a daily basis because what we're doing is not normal. It is not what everybody was raised with. One of the comparisons that I like to do is if you think about your life in comparison to your parents' life and in comparison to your grandparents' life, you probably live in about the same way that they did. You probably drive the same class of car, you know, not exactly the same, but the same price range comparatively. You probably live in the same class of house, the same class of neighborhood, and you probably do something similar to what your parents do job-wise. There has to be some point in generations that somebody breaks the mold and they're crazy like us. It just doesn't come along very often because we're taught that what our parents did is the normal way. How many of you guys ever heard money doesn't grow on trees? I mean, we've all heard that, right? One of the stories that I love to tell is about my son, who's now 26. And when he was a little boy, he was about 3, he told me he was going to be rich and he was going to have a Corvette. He was going to drive a Corvette. Now, I could have been the kind of parent that said, yeah, okay, you know, don't count on that. Money doesn't grow on trees. But instead of doing that, I always kind of lived in that dream with my kids and, you know, told them that absolutely you can have whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. And a lot of parents do say that, but then when it comes down to it, they don't fully support their child in whatever it is that they want to do. They might tell them they're crazy because that's how they were raised. My son has owned a Corvette since he was about 20. And it's fully restored, beautiful 1976 Stingray. It's his second car. And he is financially well off, 26 years old. I like to think that I played a hand in that somehow just by supporting his dreams and not ever telling him that money didn't grow on trees. I'm really a full believer that where there's a will, there's a way. And Ty, you put up a quote last night from the Boss Babe page, and I love some of their quotes. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was about believing. Let me see if I can. You guys might have seen it even, because I think I posted it last night. Let's see if I can find it. It is, man, I have a lot of pictures on my phone. How about you guys? Wait, I need glasses for this. Where did that go? Oh, you achieve what you believe. How easy was that to remember? You achieve what you believe. So if you guys believe that you can accomplish whatever it is that you want in this business, you can do it. Fear of success, you know, are you afraid that you're going to have too much money? Are you going to be able to be afraid? Are you afraid that you're going to be able to do what you want to do on your own time? Really, if you think about fear of success, it's not that you're afraid of being successful. It's afraid that you're afraid that you're not going to be successful. But it all comes down to what we've been taught. You can't do that. You're not going to make any money at that. You'll never have that. We hear that constantly. Still, it doesn't matter how long you're in this business, there's still going to be people that will not believe it's possible. So I really want you guys to understand where your fear of success and or failure comes from. And realize that you really will believe, or you will really will achieve what you believe. There is nothing. I mean, if you read any kind of books like The Secret, anything that has to do with the law of attraction, that is all so true. How many of you guys have ever been in a situation where something bad happens and you're just like, oh, what else? Right? And then something else bad happens, and then something else bad happens, and you can't get out of that spiral. I've been there. I was in there when I found this business. It's really important to recognize that in yourself and in your life, because negative attracts negative. Positive attracts positive. And even though it's really hard when you're in that situation, feeling like there's not going to be a break, that's when you have to come back and reach out to the people that do believe in you and believe in positivity. That is the only way to get where you want to be. Belief and being positive. Belief in yourself. If you don't believe in you, there's a whole lot of people on here that believe in you. I bet you whoever sponsored you and brought you into this business believes in you. You know, your uplines believe in you. And the thing you have to look at is it is possible because people have done it before you. That's what's cool, is that there's been a path laid before you of what other people have done to be successful. Before I go any further, does anybody have questions on belief or anything like that? Don't be afraid. You can even put it into the chat. And you have to unmute yourself if you're going to talk. There's going to be somebody on here. How many of you guys feel like you're fearless? Raise your hand. I see a couple hands. That's really what this business boils down to, is becoming fearless and not caring what other people's opinions are. Because remember, other people's opinions don't pay your bills and they won't fight for your dreams, right? Only you can do that. Your mom's not going to fight for your dreams. Your sister's not going to fight for your dreams. Your best friend's sure not going to fight for your dreams. Only you can fight for your dreams. This is your business, and it is up to you to take it where you want it to be. So no questions or anything on belief?
I have a question.
Go for it.
Hi, Stacey.
Hi.
How long did it take you to get to that point? Because I know a lot of us, especially, you know, that are newbies, are initially nervous, but we don't want to say anything because we don't want to feel like we're alone. How long did it take you to get to that point of confidence?
Can I say something?
Yeah, because I have a great one for this. Who is that said that?
It's Vanessa.
Well, hi, Vanessa. Say something.
Hi.
See you.
Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Brittany. Hey, you know what? It's funny that you say that because I always say to my team, if I don't know something, I don't know it. So, like, if I don't know that you're confident in something or that you're having an issue with something, if you don't share it, I don't know if you ever remember when we were in school and our teachers would say, no question is a stupid question, you know, or a dumb question. So if we can kind of go with that attitude or the idea of, I don't know that you feel a certain way. I don't know. There's nothing I can do to help you fix that. So we have to learn to all start sharing those things. And so that's one thing that I talked to my team about. But let me tell you something. I am so deathly afraid. I sit and I talk to myself and go back and forth about doing videos. And I don't know why, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably look fat. I probably look stupid. You know, like those are the thoughts that go through my head. What if I don't say the right thing? What if I forget something, you know? And so, and to be honest with you, blitzing is my least favorite thing to do, but I do it because I always go, and I have a picture of my kids on my phone. I'm like, if I don't do this, I can't pay for their college. If I don't do this, I can't pay for whatever it might be. Do you know what I mean? So you just have to use those things. And you know, you hear people say that all the time, whatever your why is, use it. Like it needs to make you cry. And I think when you hear people say that, you're like, oh my gosh, that's so silly. But seriously, the one person, people, kids, that you love the most, that you would die for, kind of thing, I guess that's how I say it. Like I would die for my kids. I would jump in front of a car for them. So why the heck am I afraid to blitz? I'm not going to be, because it's no different. Like I'm fighting for them. I'm fighting to give them their freedoms that they deserve. And so I think if you remember that, sometimes you forget about that fear because you're in that moment fighting for your babies or whatever your why is.
Okay, thanks, Vanessa.
You're welcome.
Right. And what I was going to tell you on that is that I still get afraid. I've been in this business for 4.5 years. And Vanessa's absolutely right. You have to make what you want bigger than your fear.
Okay.
And you know, if you are not seriously, if you're not doing something every day that like literally gives you butterflies in your stomach, you're not working your business right.
It's like getting out of your comfort zone. Yes,
you have to. That's the only way to grow. I think everybody on this Zoom probably gets nervous at some point. Maybe not, you know, every day, but the more you do something, the easier it gets. So as an example, when I first started, I held tons of parties, party after party after party after party. I was awesome at parties. I probably held 2 to 3 a week for months. Now, if I have a party now, I'm not doing them as often as I was, so I get really nervous, even though I know what I'm talking about. And you don't have to know what you're talking about by any means. The confidence factor comes in really believing in the products and believing in the opportunity. If you have those two things, then you're golden. You know, find at least a product that you love and you're passionate about. Maybe it's several like me. And know you have to, in your heart and in your gut, believe that this is the vehicle that's going to change your life. And you have to just exude that passion. It doesn't matter if people are saying you're crazy, or if you hand somebody a Blitz card and they say, that doesn't work. You have to know in your gut, yeah, it does. You know, don't let their opinions do not matter. You're just simply looking for people that want what you have. You're looking for their problems and trying to be the solution. If you're not the solution, bye, Felicia. You know, seriously, that's the attitude you have to have. You have to, you know, you need to build relationships with people. I'm not saying that. But when somebody doesn't want what you have, I'm not going to sit and argue with them about it. I'm moving on to the next person because maybe they want what I have. And that's the confidence that you need to have. And that's it. You don't have to know 25 things about each product or anything like that. Oh my gosh. You just don't. You just have to have the passion, the confidence in the product and the opportunity, period. That's all you have to know. Bring your enthusiasm with you everywhere you go. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? If you do have a...
Hi, can I talk? It's Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin, yes.
So this is so uncomfortable for me, but I didn't think I was going to make it on the video today. Last night, we were going through the mountains, my boyfriend and I, and we ended up hitting a boulder. There was a lot of rain, and it fell off the mountain, and it tore the underneath of his car all the way up to the skid plate just before the gas tank. And if it wasn't for that skid plate, I don't know what would have happened. I'm obviously not really good with cars, but it really hit me that, the whole thing of you saying it feels like you one thing after another. We're driving to go get the rental car, and now my car is saying I need an oil change. So it's like constantly going. And honestly, I'm starting to feel more financially safe. I have a full-time job, but with it works, I'm able to feel less, I guess, financially strapped. I know that we're going to be able to afford it, and it's going to be okay. And I reached out to a couple of my uplines with you and Vanessa, and it helped reassure me that, like, it's fine. Like, there was, God was watching over us, and it's going to be okay. And honestly, I decided to bring all my flip cards and my 3 things of wraps, and I'm going to try to get as many people today as possible so that we don't even have to actually, like, touch our bank account, so that we don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, it really stuck with me when you said it feels like a lot of things are happening one after another, because literally it's happening right now. So, yeah, it's really nice to be able to have uplines who believe in everything and are there to kind of help reassure you it's going to be okay. So I'm excited to be a part of the team.
Awesome. We're happy to have you too. One of the things I was going to touch on, when you are feeling like everything's spiraling downward, it's super hard, but you have to try to focus on the positive. There's always a positive in every situation, but we don't always see it until a year later. But really, like Caitlin, as an example, she took a negative and turned it into a positive. She brought her wraps with her, she brought her Blitz cards with her, and she's determined to get those wraps on people, right? And hand out Blitz cards. She could meet her next rock star today. You never know. Maybe that's why all of this happened. The point is you never know who that next really important person on your team is going to be. And, one of the scenarios that I gave, I have to watch my time here. One of the scenarios that I gave at the training the other night is, say I'm standing next to a lady in the store in the checkout line, and she's dressed to the hilt. Maybe she has a Louis Vuitton purse. She looks very unapproachable. She looks like she has money. And I decide to try to, first I'm judging her. Like, she doesn't need anything I have, right? We'd probably all do that, right? So then I started up some small talk with her, and I find out she's an attorney, and she obviously makes good money. And, in my brain, I'm thinking, do I offer her the opportunity? Do I not offer her the opportunity? Do I offer her the opportunity? No, she doesn't need the opportunity. But why is that up to me to judge? So I end up offering her the opportunity. This is a playing scenario. This didn't really happen. It's gonna someday. And even though I'm really super nervous, Brittany, and I don't have the confidence to offer her this because she sure doesn't look like she needs it, I find out that she's actually looking for something different because she works 80 plus hours a week and has no life. So she's looking for a way out where she can make a lot of money. What if there are attorneys that have come into this business, and doctors and people that make a lot of money that have quit their 9-to-5 job? So remember, the biggest thing, that's so cute. The biggest thing is having the confidence and knowing that people do make a lot of money in this business. They can make a lot of money in this business. It's not up to us to judge on anything. Nothing. I don't care if you're talking to a customer or a potential distributor. It's up to you to offer, and it's up to them to accept or decline. I've been talking to, how many of you guys, we're going to talk about this next, how many of you guys have been on this messaging people every day? The 25 a day challenge. And And I want to get some feedback from you guys on that. But for me, I've not even been able to keep up, literally. I keep getting messages from people. And every single person that wants to lose weight, I don't judge whether they have money. I want to get them on the system. If they tell me that they can't afford that, then I will start going down, with different products. I will also offer them the opportunity. But it's not up to me to judge whether somebody that I think looks broke can afford the system. It's just not up to us to judge whether they need this opportunity. Everybody needs the business for different reasons. Some people need it for money. A lot of us need it for money. Some people need it to gain confidence or friends or have fun. Or maybe they need freedom of time and they're working towards that. So on the messaging, give me some feedback from you guys on the messaging and tell me what you guys are thinking of that. Are you seeing different results than you were before if I'm telling you to message 25 people a day? Somebody talk, come on.
I've been getting good results. I had a girl that, I was talking to yesterday about the products, and she was stubborn. She was like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what I want to work on. And I ended up offering her the business. Well, now in a couple days, she's supposed to get back to me. If she don't, then I'm going to get back to her next. So it's awesome just to turn it around like that.
Yes.
I've had a lot of good thoughts with people from that.
I mean, I know for me, really committing, when we message a few people a day here and there, it's different than messaging, like literally trying to find 25 new people to message a day. And, that's what these top earners are doing. They're messaging tons of people a day, and that's why their enrollments are so high.
Yeah, I've actually started adding more friends because of the messaging 25 people a day, just so that I could have people to message.
There you go. I think it's been phenomenal for me personally. Is there anybody that is not doesn't feel like they're having any success with it? Anybody? I can't see everybody at one time, so if you're raising your hand, I can't necessarily see you.
I haven't really had any good luck. I've had no responses or no's, or I'm already on the products.
Okay, there you are. Say that again, hun.
So I haven't really had that good of luck. I've had a lot of no's or no responses, or I'm already on the products.
Okay, we'll keep going.
Yeah. So,
we're searching for a lot of no's.
Right.
That's the thing that you got to remember is that we are searching for a lot of no's. Here's another.
Can I say something really fast?
Yes, whoever that is, speak up.
Jessica. I have a lot of people on my team that get kind of discouraged about no's. Those are gonna happen all the freaking time. But so many of those no's have turned into yeses. They've called me and they're like, hey, you know what? I see you're posting. Can I just try this product?
Yep.
So you're planting seeds.
It happens. Every message you send out, even if they say no or they don't respond, it's a seed you planted. So just remember that. I've even had a couple people out of the blue in the last couple days message me that haven't ever commented, or, I probably messaged them 2 years ago. But you're planting seeds and they're going to remember, especially if you stay consistent. And
something. Hey, Stacy, it's Michelle.
Yes.
Oh. I was going to tell you guys a good follow-up that's worked for me. If you're messaging people on Facebook and Instagram, you can see when they've read the message. And what I like to say is, hey, Monica, I saw that you read my message. I'm sure that you're really busy with the kids and stuff, but I just am so excited about this product or this opportunity, whatever you're messaging them about. I just really would like to talk to you. Because when you put it out there to them that, oh, I saw that you read my message. Yeah, you're ignoring me. You're not saying that to them, but you're calling them out. Since I've been doing that, about 90% of the time, I get a response back immediately saying, oh, yeah, I did. I'm going to go check out your website, or I was going to call you. So don't be afraid to reach out to them after you've seen they've read your message.
Exactly. Thank you for that.
I have to say, I have to say that on my no's, I mean, I've been asking people who I know will say no. And when they say no, I say, you know, I understand that. I really appreciate it. Do you know somebody who might use or need any of our products? And I have gotten 4 referrals from that. So I have one party that's kind of in the mix. I've got another party booked, and that's from referrals. So ask them if they know somebody. It's not all about just them.
Exactly. That's a great tip. Thank you both. That's awesome. You know, when it comes to no's, I've posted this in Raps Rocks several times, but I'm going to read this to you. And some of you might have seen some people using the hashtag 900 no's. So I'm going to tell you what that is. This is Bill Britt, and he was the most successful distributor in Amway. He's dead now. He died at 81. But this is what he said when people asked him what a secret was. There is no secret. I simply showed the plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no, and only 300 signed up. Out of those 300, only 85 did anything at all. Out of those 85, only 35 were serious. And out of those 35, 11 made me a millionaire. So that's why we talk about going after 900 no's. Now, 900 no's, when in regards to becoming a customer, is different than 900 no's in regards to becoming a distributor. But remember, your customers are your number one prime target for distributors because they're already using the product and they love it and they're building a testimony. So when you, Bill Britt did not offer the business to 1,200 people. He showed the business to 1,200 people. That sounds like a lot, right? But that is literally getting 1,200 people to listen to your opportunity. That is getting 1,200 people to a One Team, One Mission to hear the opportunity, or 1,200 people to get on a virtual opportunity event, or 1,200 people, you know, sitting one-on-one with them, or even a few-on-one. That is you offering the business and showing the business to 1,200 people. And you need 900 of them to say no, and boom, you're going to be a multimillionaire by then. But if you look at it like that, if you make yourself a big old sheet with 900 no's on it, and every person you show the business to or listens to you and what the business entails, and they say no, cross off a no. Isn't that a lot more fun to try to get no's that way when you're looking at it going, I'm almost to my goal, I'm almost to my goal, right? And 900 no's is a lot of no's.
So I have a question.
Okay, who's that? I got to find you.
Nicole. I'm on
Hi, Nicole.
Hi. So let me understand. So I have all my no's. So after I get my no for maybe offering products, I'm then going to offer them to be part of the team as a distributor, right?
No, opposite.
So okay, wait. So explain it so I understand.
I personally always offer the business first.
Okay.
Because people are more likely to try the product and become a customer if they've already declined coming into the business. You're going to have potential customers that say that they can't afford the product, obviously. But what I'll do is when I'm messaging people, as an example, and they've inquired about the wraps, and they want to know about the wraps and how much they cost, and I'll tell them about the wraps, and I'll tell them they're 4 for $99 at retail or 4 for $59 as a loyal customer. I don't tell them what a loyal customer is yet, but they always come back and say, well, how do I get the cheaper price? What's a loyal customer? I say to them, a loyal customer simply agrees to purchase one product a month for 3 months in a row. It is on an automatic shipment, but you can change your products each month if you would like. That's all I say. I also will throw in there after I send that message, I'll say, have you ever thought about earning some extra income? I love to have people on my team that want to use the products. You get that?
There's one thing I don't want anyone to lose thought of. It works almost every time. Someone's like, well, I can't really, they're interested in the wraps, and so I tell them that they can get the discount.
Right.
And they're like, you know what, I can't afford it. I'm like, okay, I don't want anyone to forget this. Only for $40 more, they can sign up, start their own business, and make money with you. So that's just
right.
something that you can throw out there if they're saying no about it.
That's right. That's absolutely a good tip. And, I do similar things to that too. If they say, oh, it's just too expensive, I always let people kind of respond to me before I throw the business at them. But my goal is to get distributors, not customers. So the reason I like to start with offering them the business, even though I'm telling them about the loyal customer program, blah, blah, is because, like I said, if they decline wanting to know more about the business, they're more likely to sign up as a customer. If they decline the customer program, maybe not because of expense, maybe they don't want an auto shipment or whatever. If they're local to you, try to get them to book a party. If they aren't local, or get them to try a wrap for $25. Ask for referrals, like Monica said. But if you start at the bottom and you ask somebody to wrap, then you try to get them to throw a party, then you try to get them to be in the customer program, then you try to get them to be a distributor, you're going kind of backwards. You want to start from the top down. The biggest thing I see when people have struggles with sponsoring is that they're literally not offering the business to everybody. One of the reasons that Vanessa and I have started this messaging 25 people a day is she has a good friend that does this, and she has her team do this too. And that team is on fire. But every big top earner that you see that's grown really fast, that's what they do. The only difference between us and them is they're talking to more people. More people. If you're messaging one person a day versus 25, you're going to get the same results over the course of a month that somebody would get messaging 25 or 30 people every single day. Does that make sense? I hope. I hate not having feedback from you guys, so if you have something to say, by all means, unmute yourself. I don't like feeling like I'm talking to myself. But you just have to do more of what's getting you results. More of it. Instead of messaging one or two people a day or blitzing once a week, blitz every day and message people every day. Lots of people every day. There's always those overachievers that, they're not going to message 25 people. They're like, whoa, I'm going to message 50 people a day. You can do that. Don't stop. Message till your fingers are raw.
Okay, so I have a question for the group.
Okay, good.
And especially with Vanessa, because I have a feeling she's thought through this. So as a group, what are your plans after you've gone through everybody on Facebook and everybody on your phone? How are you going to get your 25 people? Any ideas?
Are you asking any of us to answer?
I'm asking any of you to answer.
This is Robin. I'm trying to keep up with that by adding at least 10 new friends on Facebook every day. And that way, that'll help with that. I can't get 25, I don't think, but I have made it a goal to do 10. And that way, that'll help with getting to new people.
Yes. Yes. I mean, for me, I'm trying to, I'm just reading a question here. I try to add to my network every day. If you're not, you're not working your business properly. I mean, you need to.
Okay, so the reason.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Somebody talk.
Monica, go.
Okay, Nicole, you raised your hand. Talk. Are you unmuted?
I can. I like to advertise sometimes on my page. I've also added like Instagram, Pinterest out of my comfort zone because I'm normally comfortable with Facebook. But I did the GoDaddy and got a website and got out of my comfort zone and started Snapchatting and trying to get out there.
Just meeting people.
Yep.
Okay, Carol.
I was just going to say my Instagram is another source. Once I run out of my Facebook, I have both a personal and a business page on Facebook, so I'm using both for my 25. And I went back to the beginning of time to anyone who's ever liked any of my posts, especially on my business page, and I'm reaching out to those people now that I never went before or never did before. This morning, before all of you West Coasters were even up, I had already sent 27 messages out and got a brand new LC. So, woohoo, I'm happy.
Right? I mean, can you imagine if we got a customer a day from doing this?
You
Seriously,
got it.
guys.
That's my goal.
That's way more than what we've been doing, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm just as guilty as everybody else, you know, as far as consistently messaging that many people a day, but holy cow.
Yeah.
The other thing that I always have, especially new distributors do, is on your Facebook, add as many people as you can think of that you have met in your life. I don't care who they are. I don't care if you went to high school with them. I don't care if you were childhood friends with them, or if you've worked with them in the past, or if they were neighbors. Look them up and find them and friend them.
And if you don't know them, if you're from a small town, like I'm from South Haven, Mississippi. So it's a rather small town in the outskirts of Memphis, Tennessee. I have gone and searched for people who live there now, and they are now my friends on Facebook.
Yes.
Because I have that, and I can build a relationship based on the fact that, hey, I lived on Cherry Valley Boulevard when I was a kid there in South Haven, Mississippi. So that's, you know, just an idea to grab some more friends.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
So here's the other thing, and you teach this, and we've posted it a bazillion times. Is it so they've said no? You've gone through your list of no's. Go back to your no's and ask them again.
Yes.
Because it's going to take 5 to 7 no's is your highest average of before they say yes. So just keep asking them. I mean, if they get ticked off and delete you, mark that as a badge of courage, do a happy dance, and move to the next one.
Exactly. Their opinions don't matter. I mean, if you guys watched Christina Watt's live video that is posted in Raps Rock, you just have to scroll down. You know, she talks about that. We've all lost friends. We've had people block us, unfriend us, etc. Who cares? Really, who cares? Were they your friends in the first place? If they can't support
This is Robin. I had somebody last week in big capital letters stop messaging me. But you know what happened the next day? She liked like 3 of my posts. So here's the thing. People don't want you to be mad at them, you know, because I apologized. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Last summer when we talked, you were super interested in starting the Raps. And then all of a sudden the next day she was liking all my posts. So I'm not going to stop messaging her. I will for a little while, you know.
Yeah.
But people, when they say no, unless they delete me or tell me, you know,
stop. Yep.
Leave me alone. Like, seriously, they have to tell me that. Then I don't leave them alone.
Exactly. I agree. I full-heartedly agree with that. I mean, people come out of the woodwork. Does somebody else have a question before we end our Zoom boom?
Planting seeds and letting them grow.
Yes. Who said that? Because I can't see you. Where are you?
Nicole.
Oh, Nicole. Nicole Combs.
Yep.
That is definitely a future diamond.
I tell my team that all the time.
Yes.
I don't really say no's. I just say, well, good job. You planted that seed and let it grow.
Exactly. Ty, did you have something else?
Oh, I was just going to say it only stops when they turn out the restraining order.
I can see that happening. But you guys, you know, don't give up because people are watching. And, you know, while we were on the Zoom, I got a text from a lady that, oh my gosh, she had a party for me probably 3.5, 4 years ago. And I've been talking to her for months and months and months and months and months about getting started on some products. And before the It Works U in Phoenix, we were supposed to try to work something out and get together and talk. May 26th, I messaged her when I was back. And I said, I'm back, you're back. Let's set up a time to chat. She just messaged me back this morning. What's today, the 11th? It took her 2 weeks to message me back. 2 weeks. So she says, I get off every day at 2:30. Could we meet in Eatonville on Tuesday? I'm like, yep, okay, where do you want to meet? So It's the seeds and following up. It's not their job to follow up. It is your job to follow up. It's your business. Let me answer a couple questions before we hang up here.
Hi, Tom.
How can you tell that's him?
Really? Seriously, you're going to ask me that?
Yeah. Okay, I get to blitz over 50 people at this event, but I'm here on this call. Okay, that's good. That's awesome. Somebody else asked, I live in a new community. How do I start blitzing here while my kids are playing outside or even get them involved? You know what? Take walks with them. The weather is getting nice. Take walks around your neighborhood and carry blitz cards on you. People are always out in the summertime, especially in the evenings. And just do it. And Tamara, yes, we are so happy you're back. So happy. You know, just remember this, you guys. The grass is green where you water it. Okay? True fact. This business doesn't just work for some people, it works for everybody. You just have to work it. It's nobody else's job to work it but yours. But look at all the people you have just on this Zoom that are here to support you. These people are all in it for the same reasons you are, the same exact reasons. Nicole, did you have something to say, Nicole Combs?
Yeah. I also, when I'll be like surfing on, people's comments and posts, when I read them, when you go through and I try to get my name on the likes. Also, when some of them are like, oh, I'm having a bad day. And I'll be like, oh, well, are you stressed out? You should try Confianza, and kind of joke sometimes about that. Or if they're like, oh my gosh, I just don't have the energy today. And I'll put on there a little picture of greens or something. And it's not even my post, but it's somebody else's that other people are seeing, that other people are liking or questioning, well, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's an awesome tip. And that's just networking. Another way I was going to say real quick before we hang up here, another way to add to your network is when you are out blitzing or when you're meeting people out and about, wherever it is, add them to your Facebook right then and there. Say, hey, I'd love to connect with you on Facebook. Hand them your phone and say, can you find yourself? Let's be friends. That's it. That's all that has to be. Make sense? I mean, we come in contact with people, unless you never leave the house, you come in contact with probably, at least 100 people a week that you're just around. So, okay, you guys, I hope you learned something from this, and I hope that you're ready to believe in yourself and believe so that you can achieve big. And if you need any further help on some fears that you have or anything, please reach out to me or one of your Diamond Uplines and let us know. Katie, do you have something to say, hon?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to message. So I was just gonna when we first got on the Zoom and you were talking about family and friends being negative and stuff. Well, okay, so when I was home in Flag for a week and I was, on my phone working my business and stuff, and my mom came up and told me that if I was gonna work this business, I should have just stayed home and not came up. Well, it's hard for people, like you were saying, who have that mindset of 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
To learn that, I guess to learn the difference from networking from an 8 to 5 job.
Right.
So,
because it doesn't ever really end.
Yeah.
We don't have hours. It's hard.
Right. And I just wanted to put that out there for anyone else who's getting negativity from family or friends. You just have to explain it to them and then just keep pushing.
Yes. Exactly.
Katie, that same thing happened to me last summer when I go to New York for about a month to 2 months, and my mom yelled at me every day at the beach because I was on my phone. So what I started doing was I got up an hour earlier every morning, and I just did most of my work there. And I still checked my phone, but I didn't have it with me. But yeah, people just don't get it. But it happens. And so I just worked around it, and I was like, well, Mom, you're not paying my bills.
I told my mom that too. She was like, you should have just stayed home. And I told her, well, are you going to pay my bills? Because this is how I pay my bills. So
yes. You guys, I love you. I'm so happy you guys get on here, and it's so much fun. I'm loving these Zoom calls, and they're kind of out of my comfort zone because we're all on video, right? But we're gonna do these more often. And thank you for being on. You know, put feedback in Raps Rock for me, or even in the event, and message your people if you haven't messaged them. Let's get on this and let's just zoom to the top together because there's plenty of room. Okay? You guys all have a good day.
Thanks, Stacy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Stacy. Love you.
Love you. Have a great weekend.